Okay, good morning, everyone in North America. Good afternoon, everyone in Europe and Africa. And good evening, everyone in Asia. I'm Summer Zhao, and I want to extend my heartfelt welcome to all of you to join our 2020 Inspire Summit. I notice people are joining into the room right now, and I welcome all of you who are here. So I'm the Vice President of EIN, leading strategic initiatives such as conferences and our new energy education programs. As Jane mentioned, every one of us volunteers our time at EIN. We all have a real job, but I'll talk about my real job and my story later. Let's focus on the conference first. So 2020, as Jane mentioned, is unusual. There have been more than 200 natural disasters across the world in the first half of 2020. These disasters cost the world $75 billion, according to the Aeon Catastrophic Report. Forest fires in California, floods in Indonesia, locust swarms in Africa, and of course, the pandemics. We call these green swans. Instead of black swans in the financial world, these are green swans that could bring unexpected and overwhelming impact into our ecosystem and everyday life. With the global rising temperature, these swans will only increase in the future. So how do we turn them into opportunities and eventually eliminate them? This is why we came up with the theme for this year, from green swans to green opportunities. I am super excited for the next 8 hours to come, as we not only have distinguished speakers as leaders in their fields, but we also have global green opportunities enablers, all under 35 years old, already making impact and changes in their worlds. We interviewed candidates from almost all continents on Earth and selected 12 enablers from 9 different countries, including Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, India, US, China, Philippines, Indonesia, Russia, and Canada. I was inspired myself during the interviews. We have an African high school student creating biofuel technology to get rid of firewoods for dirty cook stoves. We have a professor in India building facilities to turn wasted orange peels into industrial products. We have a female NGO founder in China solving rural water problems. The list goes on. So here's a copy of our agenda. If Janice, if you can go to the next slide. As you can see, we have 2 distinguished speakers presentation in the morning from Raghu and Giles, and we have another one from Renee in the afternoon. Throughout the day, you'll hear from 12 global enablers sharing their stories and their ideas and what the impact they have made. In the morning and both afternoons, we have networking sessions. In those sessions, you'll go to breakout rooms or icebreaker rooms. There it's like a cocktail party. You'll be able to talk with like-minded people, share ideas, or talk about things that you're interested in, and make some friends face-to-face. So we really hope that you can take advantage of networking sessions to meet some people virtually and make the entire experience fun. You can see that we have a wide range of topics being covered today, ranging from social innovation to food reengineering, water scarcity, environmental journalism, to even methane emissions and opportunities for utilizing those methane. Okay, if you can go to the next slide, Janice. The only change for the agenda that was being published is that there was one emergency for a speaker who could not attend today. So the last presentation by Charlene will talk about rural water accessibility. We'll start from 4:10 instead of 4:35. So our program will end at 4:40 p.m. California time. That is the only change for the agenda. For each speaker's speech, we have 10 to 15 to 20 minutes speech time and 5 minutes Q&A time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat box during the speech of the speaker. And our moderator, who's Janice in the morning and Bonia in the afternoon, they will represent you to ask those questions. So feel free to send in as many questions as you want into the chat box, and the speaker will have the the liberty to reply to some of the questions directly in the chat box. Okay, so please go to the next slide, Janice. When speakers talk, we'll give them control over the slides. So they'll be able to go to the next slides more easily. So inspires EN means enable, environment, or energy. But it's mainly to inspire. I believe in the power of inspiration, as there were four defining inspiring moments in my life that led me to the current path. Because our conference is style, I'll also briefly share my journey on these four moments that inspired me. The first is Al Gore's documentary, An Inconvenient Truth. I was astonished after watching it in middle school. I decided that I would devote myself to protecting the earth, and I even wanted to become a politician, but that desire didn't last very long. The second is when I attended the UNFCCC COP16, or the United Nations 16th Conference of Parties in Cancun. I submitted a proposal from US and China conference my college student club created to the top negotiators for US and China. As you can see, the left is Jonathan Pershing, right is Su Wei from China, asking them to collaborate on climate change. But there I also met a girl from Cook Island. The image you see in the middle is actually the beautiful homeland for her, Cook Island, where the people were affected by flood. And she was explaining to me how they could not get enough resources to do mitigation and adaptation. So I realized then how big nations' actions could affect small nations and how important it is to surface all these international voices as much as possible. This is also why we created EIN and organized this conference, to bring more people together to share and collaborate internationally. Third was when I was at Tesla developing PowerPack energy storage products and found clean energy as a great way to solve climate change problems while benefiting all sides of the community. So the image you see here shows a homeless community in Hawaii. I developed a microgrid project for this community using PowerPacks and found great joy of helping people with cleaner, cheaper energy sources. And fourth was when Raghu had a one-on-one with me on my first day joining Enphase. And this image you see on the bottom right is the new products Enphase just released called Ensemble Systems. During my one-on-one with him, I was moved by his passion for the company he created. I was deeply motivated by his vision for the clean energy future, the redesign of the grid, and his plan for energy consumption management. I'm the senior product manager at Enphase for a year now, and I've never regretted for one day of my decision joining Enphase. Every day I'm full of energy, creating exciting storage products, smart controls, and driving innovations with a great team. I want to thank Raghu for welcoming me to Enphase, and I also want to thank him for making time to speak at our summit. I want to thank everyone who come here today because you care.